Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing another Ruby on Rails speedrun. This one's going to be just as ridiculous as the last few. Basically what we're going to be doing is trying to create a goal tracking application. We're going to have goals, each goal will have tasks. You'll be able to store a bunch of rich text inside of your goals and a whole bunch of other stuff, including a progress bar, because I saw someone asking about that on Reddit and I thought it'd be cool to sort of cover how to do like the progress through all of the tasks you've done. So I've already started the timer. I'm already wasting time. Let's do a Rails new. I'll call it video. Give it a -C for Bootstrap, -J for ES build, and a -D for PostgreSQL. Go ahead and run that, and that'll go through the entire setup process. All right, that's done. Let's go ahead and CD into our video, and then we can get started with the code dot. And then we need to add a couple gems to this. I think the gems that we're going to use are, of course, going to be devise and simple form. So we'll do that real quick. Bundle, add devise, simple form. I don't think there's anything else we really need to add. I don't think we're going to be doing pagination or anything like that. So let's go ahead and let's do a Rails G devise :install command. We are going to need action text. So Rails G devise user. Action text, we should be good with just a basic install because I have everything else already working. So let's do a Rails G action _text :install. It'll give us the rich text. And then we're going to be using Rails G simple _form :install -- bootstrap. And then that'll give us that command. There we go. And now we can do a Rails G devise :views. That'll give us our simple form bootstrap styling on those views. Okay. All right. Excuse me. I had to clear my throat. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's generate what we need. We need a scaffold, Rails G scaffold. We're going to give this, we're going to call it our goals. Our goals are going to be, they're going to have a name, they're going to have a description, which is going to be rich text. That doesn't matter. They're going to have a user : belongs to, let's see now, goals, name, user. A goal should be good there. Let's go ahead and let's run that. Then we're going to need to generate a model, Rails G model for our tasks. Each task will have a name. It'll have a completed of type Boolean. The name is a string by default. And it'll have a user : belongs to and a goal : belongs to. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and run that. Rails DB, I have to drop it because I already have one that already exists from a different video. And then let's go through all this. Rails DB : create, DB : migrate. And then I don't think I need to seed anything really. Let's just do a Rails, or not a Rails S. We need to do a bin/dev to hopefully start the server. Go ahead and refresh this page. Looks good. Come into our routes with Control P. We're going to make the root. Let's do a Control+ a couple times and hit F11. Root will be the goals controller index action. That looks good to me. Now we're going to have to come into our goals.rb or our goal.rb, I guess. And then in here, we're going to have to change a couple things. I'm trying to think. We need to say this belongs to a user, has many tasks. These are going to be dependent destroy. We need to put a colon there, and then it's going to have a rich text. Has rich text for the description is what we'll call it. We'll copy that, come into our goal controller. Inside of our goals controller, we want to do a before action to authenticate the user. So that's good. We're going to want to do that for everything. And then inside of our create, we're going to want to do a @goal.userid = current user ID, but we're going to want to make this the @goal.user = current user. Inside of the goal, it belongs to a user. That's good. Let's come down here. This doesn't need to be here anymore. Comma description, just like that. We can now come into, I forget what the command is. We're going to have to deal with that in a second. We can come into our views, our goals, our form for our goals. Down here, we're going to have to do something like a f.input for the description. And I don't quite remember what this is, so we'll have to go to Google. So let me just go ahead and tab over google.com. We need to go to a simple form action text. There it is. Already have it. It's going to be this first version right here. My middle mouse button's broken, so we're gonna have to scroll down to the bottom, and it is as rich text area. Looks good to me. We can do this after the description here. Go ahead and save that. Come over here, refresh the page. We can log in. First, we have to create an account, dean@example.com with a password of password. And this will cause us to have to go back because device is still broken. So we'll paste in that info here. And now we're good to go. Let's go into our application.html.erb file. And around the yield tags, we'll do a .container for Bootstrap with a mt-5, which gives it a margin top of 5. We'll wrap that around everything and cause it to go more towards the middle. We can click new goal. We can give it a name. And we can give it the description, but it has this user here. We don't need that user. So that's good. There we go. Test and case. And then let's try to attach an image, I guess. Let's just grab one of my thumbnails, paste this in here, and we should be good to go. Create goal. That's here. That looks fine. Let's come back up here. Okay, so now we have to come into our goal partial, which is right here. And inside of our goal partial, we're going to need to do, we're going to need to do a lot. Let's think. Let's just, kind of want to get rid of everything. We can get rid of this. We can change this to a H2, change this to an H2. We have the user ID. We don't need that anymore. And now in here, what we want to do is a couple of things. We want to create a form, and we want to, I guess, iterate through each of the goals. And we're going to have to do all of that. So this is going to be quite a bit. Okay, so right here, we have the goal name. Let's grab a Bootstrap 5 progress bar already in my search results. Cool. Let's grab a green one. This looks fine right here. Second one down, grab this. Come into here and paste it into here. Okay, so that's good. This right here is what we need to replace, this 25, which means we're gonna have to do some kind of weird math to get that in our tasks. We do need to still create the task controller, I'm realizing right now. So stop the server, Rails G controller, and we'll call this the task controller. We won't generate anything else for it. Go ahead and do a bin/dev. And then we can come over here and refresh the page. We have that task there. Inside of our tasks controller, let's just bang that out real quick. What do we have to do in here? We have to do an authenticate user. So we're going to say before action. We're going to have to do this twice, :authenticate user. And we'll do this for everything. Before action, set goal. And this needs to only be for the, probably for the create and the update. And then we can come down here and we can do a def create, which is going to have a at task equals goal create task. That looks good. Def update is going to be an at task. If it updates redirect, sure, whatever, anything's fine right now. Def destroy also needs to be one. There we go. And then private, and then set goal should be one of these. Def set goal. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. And then we're also going to have the task params, which is where we whitelist or allow list the, not description, but the name and the completed. Okay, so that looks fine. In terms of our destroy, we find the task, we destroy it. We then want to redirect to the fallback location of root path. That works. We'll grab this and we'll just put this in everywhere. And we don't need this check here for the if statement because we're just doing this anyways. And then we'll just leave it like that. Not very secure or defensively coded. That's fine. The task does need to have the at task user user equals the current user at task.save, which means this could probably just be like a .build instead. We can save that. Let's come into our routes. Inside of our routes, we want to, we have a resources goals. We'll do a do block and we'll do a resources tasks. And I don't know if we're going to be using any other paths here, so this should be fine. So now we should be good to go back to our goal partial, and in here we can clean this up a bit. And by that, I mean make it absolutely disgusting. So we're going to do a div. We're going to put inside of this div the goal description. That looks good. Then we want to iterate through all of the goal.task.each do task. And then in here, this is going to be absolutely not clean code, but that's fine. We're going to need to do a simple form for, and we're going to just wait for GitHub Copilot to catch up. This is fine. Simple form for a task with a URL of goal underscore task underscore path. The reason why we do that is because then we can pass in the goal and the task, and it doesn't need to be a remote true. That's fine. We have a name. We have no description. This is wrong. This needs to just be the completed Boolean. And then after the completed Boolean, we have the submit button, which will do a class of btn-primary. And then after the f.submit, we can do something like save. That works. So this is our save button. We can then exit out of this form. We're still inside the loop, which means we can do the task here. So we got to take this, tab it over. But in here, what we can do is we can do a, let me see if I remember how to do this, a button to delete the task. And then we'll do a goal, task, path for the goal and the task. And remember, both of these need to be singular. We'll do a comma for the method, colon, delete with a class of btn-danger. That'll give us a red button for that one. And now for something that's definitely not best practice, we're going to take this entire form here and we're going to paste it down here. And we need to basically just replace the, this needs to be the goal tasks path. This needs to be a task.new. And I think the rest of this is fine. That looks good. Now these right here, I think we need to have these get auto-populated. I don't really know how to do that without doing something hacky. Give it a value of task.name. So that'll put it inside of the field when it gets updated. And for this one, we'll do the same thing with an input HTML. Inside of braces, a checked value needs to be set to task.completed. And now whenever we refresh, it'll put these values in here so they'll come in pre-populated. We'll hit F5 here and hope that things don't break. Undefined local variable or method task right here inside of simple form 4. Where is that? We have the simple form for the task goal right here. This just needs to be a goal. That's fine. And then we can refresh. Undefined method save for simple form builder. This is an f dot submit save, and we can grab this, and we'll leave this as create. Come over here and refresh. Okay, so now we have the image popping up. We have the form right here with some of the stuff. Let's go ahead and let's test this. We'll set it to not be completed. Click create. Okay, so we have this appearing. The check mark doesn't mean that it's completed. It means it's validated. So let's grab this. Let's set this to completed. Click save. And now it looks like completed is saved. Let's uncheck this. There we go. We are 13 minutes in. We already have this functionality. It's fantastic. Let's try to delete this. It's gone. Cool. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll create another one. And then 1, 2, 3. We'll create one more. We'll set, I don't know, this one to be completed. There we go. You could, of course, use turbo in a different tutorial. Okay, so now what we want to do, the last part is we want to make the progress bar work. It is based on a integer value of 25% inside of the style. I'm going to ask everyone to please look away as I write some of the worst code I've probably ever written on this channel. We need to calculate that value, and this is a speedrun, so we're just going to go ahead and do some weird stuff. The count... this isn't really, well, I guess it's like the number of tasks in this goal is equal to the goal.task.count.2f. Okay, so the reason why we're casting this 2f is because we're going to be doing a progress percentage, which is going to be equal to the, okay, it's going to be equal to the goal.task.where. And we need to grab all of the tasks where completed is what we called it, I think, is set to true. And then we need to do a .count on that. So let's say we have 3 tasks. We've completed 1. This will then be a value of 1. We then want to divide this by our number of tasks. And the reason why we cast this to a float is because if we don't do that, this will be a whole number dividing a whole number. And if it's 1 divided by 3, this will return 0, I think. and that's no good. We cast it to a float, so this becomes a decimal, and then this becomes 1 divided by 3, which will give us 0.333. And then we can grab all of this. We can wrap it inside of some parentheses. Because this number is based on a 25 whole number percentage, we need to then take this times 100. But what happens if there's no tasks? Okay. So I'm going to need everyone to never mention what I'm about to do here ever again, because you definitely don't ever do this because it's just not readable. But we're going to go ahead and we're just going to throw in a big old ternary here. Okay, so progress percent is equal to the count that equals of 0. If this value is equal to 0, then we just set it to 100, so it'll be a full progress bar. If you don't want it to be set to a full progress bar, if there's no tasks, you want it to be empty instead, you could just leave this as a 0. Let's go ahead and let's save this, and let's just see what this does. It errors out. That's what it does. It is upset about the undefined variable or method count because this is the number of tasks. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Number of tasks and number of tasks right there. That's fine. Refresh. Okay, so we got a 33.33333%, which gives us this value here. Let's come down here and let's update a second one. That did not change the value of the progress. That is a little bit alarming. It should be 2 out of 3 now. Let me save a third one. Refresh. Okay, that's not working. I apologize for blinding you. Let's hit F11, click on this and see what's happening. It's because I don't know how anything works. We need to take this 25% and actually put in our progress percent right here. Let's go ahead and let's do that. I'll open up some Ruby code. We will just straight up inject this into the style in probably the grossest single file of code that's ever been recorded on the internet. Okay, so now all of this is done. Let's uncheck one of these. It is now 66% done. Let's uncheck a second one. It is now 33% done. Let's check a second one, 66 again. Let's delete the second one. Okay, so the deleted one causes us to be 50%, which it makes sense. We have 1, 2. And if we uncheck this, we go to 0. And in the case of 0, this doesn't error out. And of course, if you wanted it to, you could change it so that if your number of tasks is 0, let's do this. So now we should have no tasks. This is not a number. It is still trying to put the number in here though. So why is that? It is the number of tasks is equal to 0. Does this need to be like 0 as a float? I don't know. Number of tasks equals 0. Refresh. There we go. Okay, so if the number of tasks equals 0, set it to 100. You could also change this to if it equals 0, it could be empty instead. So we can just leave it like this. That way we don't get that not a number error. We now have a working progress bar, the ability to create multiple tasks, the ability to set them as completed if we want to, the ability to create even more tasks. These are all linked to a single goal. Maybe you want a new goal. We'll say, I don't know, get in shape this year. We can come over to Unsplash, look for a fit person, and I don't know, let's grab this picture right here. Download for free, sure, why not? Hit save, come over back over to here, and then we can attach this from our downloads inside of all of our nice little stock images. We'll just, I don't know where the picture went. We'll just grab one of these. We'll grab this one. This is my fitness goal or something. I don't know. We can go ahead and do that and scroll down here, click create goal, and we have this goal. And then goal number or task number 1 is do some running or something. And we click create. We have this here, and we still have a 0% progress bar here. We go back to our goals, and maybe for this one, we also want to, I don't know, do some push-ups. We click create, and there we go. We can now say, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do my push-ups. I did my push-ups. That task is completed. We're now at 50%. All right, under 20 minutes. I'm gonna count it. That's good enough. I think we did plenty in this video. This is pretty cool. Hey everyone, editing Dean here. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to hopefully, can I start this again? Nope, I can't. All right, we'll just run another one. Just real quick, I kind of want to point this out. Basically, in the home page here, it's going to be showing all of the goals, and we don't want to do that. So instead, if you would like to, you can take this and just say the current user.goals. And then that should hopefully clean that up. So we'll just go ahead and refresh this. The undefined method goals for user. So let's go into our user.rb, come down here. A user has many goals, dependent destroy. Go ahead and save that and then refresh the page, hopefully. There we go, that's working. We can come over here, create a new account, john@doe.com with a password of password. We can come back up here, copy this, hit enter, it'll error out. We go back, password, and we only have one goal here, test case create, back, there we go, refresh this one. It should not be seeing that test case, it is not, so that's good. The other thing we want to do is make sure that if we have this goal right here, for whatever this one is, I think this is goal number 1, we don't want to be able to go to /goals/1 and see other people's goals. To do that, we can come into our goals controller, before action, validate user. We can come down here. Oops, actually this makes sense. Show, edit, update, destroy. We come down here, we say def, we want to validate user, and then we want to say redirect to the root path, alert, not authorized unless the goal.user equals the current user. We can go ahead and save that, come over here and refresh, and that should send us back to the home page. But we can check out whatever goal this user made, /goals/3, I think, and that'll be this person's goals. We can create some more stuff here, set this to completed if we want, and this all works, but we can't go check out this link on the other user account. That won't work. All right, so it's actually closer to 22 minutes. I just wanted to clean those up real quick because I figured I'd get comments about it, and I wanted to make sure this still made sense. So I guess it's like a 22-minute speed run. So yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.